It's James Banks here for UpCloseGamers. I'm here with FX.Neo. He's just played the first two games and they'll be playing Na'Vi in the next round. How are you finding Korea so far?
It's been good as always. We haven't had much time to adjust to the time change, so we got kind of jet lagged. We had some problems at night, couldn't sleep, but hopefully we're gonna get some rest until tomorrow.
I know it's very hot here and a lot of players have been complaining about the heat. Has that been a factor into why you're so tired, do you reckon?
Maybe, but I don't think so. Just need some more sleep, I guess.
Okay, so a lot of travelling.
Yeah.
So now coming on to your first game you played a pretty unknown, say more random team from Korea called Spora. Quite an easy game. Did you think that gave you good enough warm-up for your next game?
Yeah, I think we got used to the competitors and just get to warm up a little. Yeah.
Okay. So your next game was against Tyloo. At some points it looked like they were really pushing, like certain tactics they were using you couldn't handle. Was it because of the style they were playing, or what was it that was making it a bit difficult on some rounds?
In my opinion, we kind of underestimated them. Yeah, like we didn't prepare much before the match. We didn't watch the game, and as far as we know, the game was a little bit delayed because they were just watching our demos, so they kind of knew what to play, especially on pistol rounds, which they both won. And yeah, we had a pretty bad start. They were leading 4-1, I think, and we were in a pretty bad situation. But then we started winning everything, and and it ended up pretty good for us. So yeah, just a bad start, I guess.
So considering they won both the pistol rounds, the scoreline wasn't that huge, really, considering.
Yeah.
So going on next, you've got Na'Vi. Have you been practicing much against them when you were practicing at home?
We played them maybe twice. Didn't want to play them much because just if you practice too much against one team, you get to know what the other players do, and we just didn't want to show them what we are capable of, and just.
Okay. So next map's Forge. What are your opinions on everyone adding Forge? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, or are you indifferent?
I think it's a good idea to add few maps. Like you've had 5 maps. Tuscan is pretty new as well, but you have had 5 maps, and which kind of seemed maybe boring for people who didn't know CS that much. So like I think it was a good idea, but Forge is pretty unbalanced, as what we've seen from our practice games. It's pretty hard to play as CT. And it's going to be our first official game on Forge, so we don't really know what to expect. And as far as we know, Na'Vi was playing that map in some Ukrainian league before, so it's going to be hard for sure. That's why we wanted Mouse to win. But of course, Mouse was always practicing. Also practicing Forge and playing it on official games in EPS Germany. So yeah, we were in a kind of bad position when they add new maps, because we don't have any league or anything that has Forge. So yeah.
So you guys were the previous winners, and this is obviously a best of 1 format. A lot of people don't agree with that. They prefer to see the best of 3. Do you feel like best of 1 is good for your team, or do you think it hinders you in certain situations?
I think we prefer best of 3 more, but if it's best of 1, it's better for us that the maps are decided before the match and you don't remove maps, because when there is best of 1 and you can remove few maps, we've always had more bad maps than other teams, or it seemed like that, because we always had to remove Tuscan and usually Inferno or the opponent's best map. So if it's decided before the match, it's pretty easier for us, because for example Na'Vi has to play Nuke, which they don't play that much. So but best of 3 is less random, because if you lose 2 pistol rounds, that's like 6 rounds if you of course lose echoes. So it's too random. I think best of 3 is better in that case.
Okay. So this is something I like to do for UpCloseGamers. We like to see what opinions you have for your fans from your experiences. So, looking at Counter-Strike now, looking at the younger players, say, trying to jump up and get to the level that you're playing at, what advice would you give to your fans?
I think the biggest problem with the new players is that they are not so patient with having the same lineup and practicing their tactics, because the key is that you need to have same 5 guys, and maybe some changes are good sometimes if someone loses motivation or something, but especially you can see that in Poland, where you got so many talented players, and they would be good if they just would stick to one lineup, do some tactics and practice them. It's like, it doesn't make sense to just play with a team, then change the lineup, then play without any tactics. So I think that's the biggest problem.
So staying together and really like committing yourself to a team, much like you've done with your team. Like really, it's just Pasha changed and you pretty much kept the same lineup, only a few changes throughout.
I've been playing with Taz for 7 years now.
There you go. That's the proof in the pie. You and Taz together, unstoppable team. So, is there anything else you'd like to say to your fans, your sponsors, anything?
Not really. Just thanks for the support.
Okay, great. That's James Banks signing off for UpCloseGamers. Thank you.